Let's go, guys.
Oh, you were serious about the ukulele. White stripes.
Yes. Community Hotline. What is going on? Welcome to Community Hotline, presented by 88 Real Estate Media, for the community, by the community. I'm your host, Bob Fang, and today we have community member Chris. My good man, why don't you introduce yourself, sir?
Hi, my name's Chris Giannos. I am a real estate agent, quote unquote, here in Central Orange County. So think like Santa Ana, Orange, Tustin, Anaheim area. I've been in the business for the space for around 7 years now. Been directly involved with the buying and selling property for about 3 years now. And I've loved every second of it. So it's pretty awesome.
That's great. And what is your intention for today?
Like you and I talked about, I want to be as genuine and as raw and helpful as I possibly can, because I think this space right now, with people kind of learning from other people, is super filled up with a lot of noise and like pointless, non-applicable stuff. So I'm going to try and cut through all of that and get kind of straight to the point.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, well, before we get into the community hotline, rules of the game first. There is no cursing on this show, so if you do curse, you get a first strike, second strike, and third strike, you're out. So far, no one's been booted, so I don't think we'll have to worry about any of that. But let's get right into it. First topic of the day is money. Tell us, Chris, what is money?
Oh, man. My perception of money has changed a lot, I think. And if you would have asked me that question like 6 or 7 years ago, it was like it's everything. And now my perspective with that whole thing, to be honest with you, has changed a lot. And I think that now more than anything for me, it's like a springboard. Like if you've got cash, especially in a business setting, it's like a springboard to grow and help more people, not like line my own pocket and buy the cars and the watches and the house and all that stuff. Like it's a catalyst to do more good and help more people, in my opinion.
I love it. I love it. When would you say that shift happened for you?
That's a good question, man. I'd say realistically, if I'm going to be as raw as possible, about a year ago.
A year ago. What happened?
Like I would have liked to have thought I had it thought out and figured out a lot quicker than that. But it took me like getting not necessarily dropped on my head, but like you get life that teaches you a lot of lessons. It's like the coldest mentor. And I think that some of the experience I've had over the last year have taught me a lot about what's really important and kind of what money really is. Because you can have all of it in the world. If you're not healthy, if you're not satisfied in the relationships you're in, and if you don't have a good relationship with family, friends, et cetera, like you could have all the money in the world. It's not going to fix those problems. It might help a little bit, but it's not gonna fix those underlying issues, in my opinion.
Is there anything you could have told yourself back then if you could go back?
Yeah, dude, 100%. Like, Chris, if you're listening to me in a time machine, I'm going to say this really slowly. Like, slow down and enjoy it, because it changes a lot, right? Like the second all of that comfort zone goes away, it's a big, scary world. So like slow down. Don't be so anxious to like go to the next step. Like I'm sure you agree with me on this, Bob. Like I would literally kill dude to be like a third grader again. Like that sounds like the greatest. Like you go to school, you get to eat, you hang out with your friends, and then you come home and like play video games. Like it sounds great. So I'd say just slow down. Like you can have projects and hustles and things you want to do and like work towards, but like enjoy the moment. Like the journey is like 3/4 of it. Like once you get to being an adult, it's fun, and like don't get me wrong, you can afford yourself a lot of freedoms and stuff, but it's got its pros and it's got its cons. Let's put it that way.
100%. What were you? Did you have any hustles going on back then when you were younger?
When I was a sophomore sophomore in high school is when it really kind of kicked off. I was super big on getting a job, and my dad had some friends that were in the restaurant industry, and was like, "Hey, go work for them." I went and washed dishes at this Greek restaurant for like, I think it was like a weekend, and I was like, I can't do this. Like there's no way. Like I can use my brain and do something else. So in my backyard we had a swimming pool, and we had a bunch of pool equipment, and we had a pool guy. The pool guy never even used the equipment. He brought his own. I was like, okay, I can use that. My dad said, well, why don't you do a pool route? Like, it's super easy and you have no overhead and you don't have a car yet, but you could walk around and clean pools. If you get 2 or 3 of them, you make a couple $100 a month. Like, great. So we went on Google Maps and went around our neighborhood, and I found all the houses with pools and would mark them down. And I made a little flyer about what I could do and who I was. And I went and knocked on doors for like an entire summer. And if I got told no, we already have a pool guy, I'd say, great. How much is he charging you? I don't know, $100. Okay, cool. I'll do it for 80. So I started undercutting the competition, which in hindsight was a little aggressive, like price gouging. But it worked out good, man. And by the time I was like done with high school, I had a full route and was making like a good close to 5-figure income a month from just a pool route.
That's crazy. That's insane, man. That's insane. What how have you what lessons have you learned during your pool hustle to real estate?
Really, I got a really applicable one that I'll tell you about that literally happened today. So one of my agents, he's got this guy that we've always got a little bit of a rivalry with. Like, he's a local agent, does really well. We've tried to get him to come work here a couple of times, and they had a Zillow lead a couple of days ago that wanted to buy this guy's flip. So the guy actually owns the house himself and he's flipping it. And he hasn't said it. We've been cordial with the guy, but I know for a fact that the reason the guy's just not accepting the offer straight out of the gate is because someone's been talking smack to this dude for months at this point. So don't competitors are not bad. They are just people in your space that you got to kind of learn to get along with. And my advice would be to, like, don't speak. It's like, speak softly and carry a big stick. Like, let your results make the noise. You don't have to brag to people about how cool you are, or how good you are, how much you're beating them. It's like, just keep crushing it, and your results and your clients will speak volumes to you and your business.
I love that. I love that tip. You know, moving on to the topic of the day, which is love. Like I mentioned before, you know, I think most of the love that we get from the world is just, you know, Disney. What is love? What is your definition of love?
You know what, man, that's a good question. And I think that, like, the Disney definition of love is like that warm, fuzzy feeling you get when you're with that, like, one person or whatever it may be. And I think that needs like an update almost, in my opinion, right? Like, love, in my opinion, isn't a feeling, it's like an action, right? I think that so many people get hung up on that idea and that, like, story, the fairy tale story, the prince and the frog, all this stuff. In my head, it's like, you can love everyone, right? Like, I try and be, and this is just my own idea of the whole thing, like, I try and show people on a daily basis that I, like, love and care about them, right? With whatever it may be, just random little things you can do. It might take you 5 seconds to do something, right? Like, I good applicable example, like, I've got a guy who just started on our team that just had his first kid, right? I don't have any children. I have no idea what the guy's going through, but, like, small little things that are like, how could I make this guy, I'm sure he hasn't slept, I'm sure he's freaking out, he's got a newborn kid at home. Like, how can you make this guy feel welcomed and like he's back in the mix, right? He's been out for 3 weeks with this baby. It's like little things, taking the guy to lunch, bringing him a coffee in the morning, like singling someone out and going, okay, how do I make this person really feel it, right? So I think it's that whole idea of, like, the princess and the frog thing, like, is due for an update. Like, you gotta show everyone that you love them on a daily basis, and it actually put it into action, not just kind of say it. I guess there's a big difference in my book between the action and, like, saying something. It's like, if you're gonna walk the walk, like, walk the walk.
Got it. I love it. All right, guys. Well, before I forget, 88 Real Estate Media is looking for members to join the oversight committee to build the best kung fu school in Southern California. Also, if you do business in the real estate industry, you do consider hiring 88 Real Estate Media for your needs. So, guys, if you guys want to ask Chris, if you guys are going through something, you need some mentorship, give him a call, 949-922-2078, or hit him on his Instagram, @Chris Giannos. You got any last words for the audience?
keep killing it, and don't be in too big of a hurry. Like, slow down and smell the metaphorical roses. I promise they smell good.
Love it.
Worth it.
Love it. All right. Thank you, man.